Wow, good evening, everybody. My name is Vasu. I'm the director of Face the Music. Welcome to our concert at Roulette. Tonight's special because our community of music makers is growing. We've got a number of guests with us tonight who have been working with our students and helping them grow and turn into what you just heard on stage. Most notably, we've just finished a mini residency with Mazz Swift. Yep. Mazz has been working with a few of our ensembles for the past few weeks and leading them through conduction and leading them through her own pieces as well. We also have representatives from International Contemporary Ensemble with us tonight. Yeah. And we also have the composer of the first piece, Todd Reynolds, in the house with us tonight. And in Face the Music tradition, I'm going to invite Todd up to the front of the stage and John Wallar up to the front of the stage, and we're going to do a little interview.
Hi, Todd.
Hi, how are you doing?
Thanks for one mic. Okay. So it was great being able to play your piece 7 Sundays, especially on all the percussion. Can everyone hear me? Just so I know. Yeah. No? Okay. Okay. There we go. So it was great being able to play percussion on 7 Sundays. What were you thinking about when you wrote the piece?
Okay, so I'll try to make this brief. So I am very fortunate that my musical family here in New York is a group called Bang on a Can. And and they've been my musical family for about 30 years. And so they did this project recently called Field Recordings, right? And field recording, you probably all know, is technically it's using a really wonderful recording device to capture the sound of an iceberg calving while we still have icebergs. So it's like, it's basically the fine art of sound recording. But this concept kind of extended that to all the composers that they wanted to write for the band with the idea of using samples or videos or essentially found audio. So I was invited to be part of that. First person I went to was my dear friend Paul DeYoung, who is part of a band called The Books, which is no longer with us. Paul is, just not The Books. And Paul is an archivist. He's Dutch, and he is like a person who collects everything. Everything, all the time. And I said to Paul, he's got so much audio, I said, can you please find me about 100 instances of the word love? It was a really bad idea. So the next thing he came to me with, which was kind of fun, was he brought me a record, a real record. And the title of it was Negro Preachers from the 30s to the 50s. From Chicago. It's like the only person who wasn't there was our dearly departed Aretha Franklin's father. You know, it's like it was kind of an amazing amalgam. And I grew up, when I was born, my first church was a black church in Inglewood. And the last church that I passed through in my life was a black church in Rochester, New York. And so this kind of made sense to me, and I began combing through it. And that evolved into remembering how musical preachers were, not white preachers, black preachers, and how that was, there was so much kind of ebullient and wonderful soul and music there, and that transformed into my recognition that I always carry with me, which is that, you know, we've got this kind of imported Western European music that we call kind of American classical music, when the real American music comes from black music to begin with and goes through jazz and pop and rock and roll and everything else. So that all kind of made sense to me to use this as kind of a celebration of some, not the origins of that music certainly, but part of the progress of black music as we have experienced it over time. So that's where Seven Sundays came from as a celebration, and I got to just say thank you, and thank you for programming it, Vasu, and to all the folks who played it. It's really a pleasure to be here and have it played.
That actually starts to tie into my next question. How do you feel about students about our ages performing works like this?
When I was 21, I gave my life to new music while I was at the Eastman School of Music. I know it sounds evangelistic, it kind of is. And I just realized at that time that I wanted to be involved with my tradition in the furthering of it, rather than the repeated study and museum-like nature of concertizing with old music. So that's kind of where I started at age like 21 when I got to school. And to know now that Face the Music exists and that you guys are doing it at your age and it's normal is kind of one of the payoffs from having spent my entire career primarily in this genre. So I'm...
And one last question. Who are three composers or artists that you're listening to right now?
I don't listen to music. I thought about this because I knew you were going to ask that, because everybody asked that. So I split my time between northwestern Massachusetts and New York. So I do a lot of listening, right? So I can give you 3 books I've been listening to. The Order of Time by Carlo Rovelli. Wait for this next one. White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo. And the next cross would have to be between Sapiens, Yuval Noah Harari, and also Radical Dharma by Angel Kyoto Williams. So that's it. If I listen to music, it's on Facebook. And the most exciting stuff that I've come across that I posted on my page the past couple of days was a Roy Hargrove clip, which was amazing. With Herbie at the piano, that was kind of nuts. And I can't remember, the last thing I came across was Jacob Collier was so promoting the music of this Moroccan artist whose name I just can't remember right now, who is kind of amazing. But those are the types of things, when they come through my feed, that I'm most conscious of and gravitate to right away.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.